So keeping it moving here on Group Chat Football Live. Ohio State, defending national champs, want to continue to keep that talent stocked. And it was a big recruiting day for them in terms of visitors. Some of the names that were there: Sam Greer, Breck Kolojay, Jake Kreul, Jordan Thomas. And then I know we had one more as well. And that was Favour Akih.
Yep. So let's start with Sam Greer, Pete, because I know you love this guy. His game on the basketball court reminds you of yourself.
Yeah. If I was 6'7", but the pace is pretty similar, I gotta say.
6'7", 310, top 10 player in Ohio. Different rankings on different sites. Let's go with the composite, which has him as a number 188 player in the country. But this ability, athletic ability, is pretty unique at that size when you look on the basketball court. He is from Akron, Ohio. I don't know if he's going to be replacing LeBron James anytime soon on the basketball court, but this is a guy that can play and does have game. Of course, that translates to the position of tackle when you're 6'6" and a half, 310.
9 blocks in a game here.
Yeah, and you look at his quotes on Ohio State. He said, really enjoyed my time at OSU, visited for practice this week. The O-line has 4 different coaches helping with development and making sure you're the best version of yourself every day. There's a lot of schools in the mix: Missouri, Michigan, Florida, Miami, Wisconsin. But I think Ohio State's got a really leg up here, given this is an Akron, Ohio native. He says, I just need to get down a few more times and build a great relationship with the new coaches. And this is high-level basketball too, man. I mean,
he's got some highlights here against St. Vincent St. Mary. Some other in another video here. But I'm going to pull up some football stuff as well.
I like the basketball. Look at you see him play. He's covering on the perimeter there, and people might be watching and saying, why are you putting basketball highlights? But look at him cover.
Yeah, look at that.
So that's, if you can keep up with a guard on the perimeter, you can keep up with a defensive end, right? That's just lateral foot quickness. That's coordination. I mean, this guy's not clumsy at all. Because, I mean, not only did he keep up, he has the balance and ability to get off the ground quickly. This all translates very, very well to the offensive tackle position. And with the good development you have at Ohio State, I think there's some meat on the bone there. And this is just a super high upside player.
Yeah, here he is playing football. We could have shown a lot more basketball, but of course, he's being recruited to play football.
Road grader, a lot of, I think, honestly, the football, when you watch the highlights, obviously you see the appeal, but I don't think what you're seeing here, because like right there, he's still kind of, I think, strength, even though that's a nice drive block. I think when you talk about Big Ten level strength.
But look at him get to the second level there. That's what of that. That's what I'm interested in.
I think there's still meat on the bone when it comes from the football standpoint, just getting stronger, but the athleticism and the balance and the length, and I mean, again, so easy in motion. I think all these things are going to lead to him developing into a big time player.
Yeah, without a doubt. So keeping things moving, you want to stay on the offensive line here?
Yeah, sure. Let's stay on the offensive line with a much different type of player on the offensive line, but still a top prospect. That's Breck Kolojay, big-time interior offensive lineman, originally from Colorado at IMG Academy down there in Florida. He is you talk about Greer as your classic tackle. Kolojay is your classic inside interior offensive lineman, big guard, physical, plays with Kenye Pepe, a top prospect in his own right next to him at IMG. Kolojay is your mauler, right? You see him in these highlights. This is just a physical player. He went down to camp here, 5-on-5 camp, which was an offensive line based camp down here in South Florida, with some of the best in the country. And he was outstanding this past weekend before he made his way to Ohio State. So this guy's getting around. He's either playing football or he's visiting schools, but you see how he keeps square, drives his legs. He's just a really, really talented guard prospect. And he said, this is my first time visiting Ohio State. It blew me out of the water. This visit was fantastic. Some huge takeaways are how Coach Bowen is helping command that O-line room, and his coaching style is fantastic. Personable but serious coach. My mother also got to see everything, and she loved it. This has by far exceeded my expectations. This school will play a major part in my recruitment. Miami's in the mix. Florida State, the 3 in-state schools. Again, he's originally from Colorado. Colorado's also on the list, but he's in Florida now. LSU, Tennessee, and then, of course, Ohio State. So a lot of contenders for Breck Kolojay. I think he's being recruited higher than what his ranking is because of this kind of play. Just a true road grader. You can step into the Big Ten right away with some nastiness.
Well, and sometimes when we describe these interior offensive linemen at the high school level and you use the word road grader, it kind of takes away from maybe the athletic ability. Like, this guy's moving well too, right? He has the strength and he has the nasty, but you see him pulling and you see him getting out. I mean, you see him, he's got some pop. Obviously, he's got the strength, but he's got quicks as well.
No doubt about it. And look, IMG, these guys are ready to play. You look at Jordan Seaton, goes to Colorado, true freshman All-America. You look at Francis Mawanoa, who went to Miami.
Look at that backdrop there.
Oh, beautiful. Look at Francis Mawanoa, went to Miami. He was a freshman All-America. Now he's probably on the verge of being a first-round pick. Seaton should be a first-round pick the following year. So these IMG offensive linemen, Tyler Booker, right, for Alabama, he looks like he's going to be somebody who's going to come right in and start at the next level after a very, very good career for the Crimson Tide. So these IMG offensive linemen, they're pretty good. They're pretty well coached. And if they got the talent, which Kolojay has, they can play at any level, including the Big Ten, for the defending national champions.
We'll stay at IMG, flip over to the other side of the trenches there, and talk about Jake Kreul. Called him Drake there. Jake Kreul, pass rusher, who, man, I mean, he's got a nice array of moves. Very, very productive at this level.
Yeah, he's somebody that I've seen at camp a bunch of times. He's dominant at a camp setting. I mean, beating all of the best tackles in the country. He played in the Under Armour game as an underclassman, was dominant in that game as well. I believe he had multiple sacks, certainly got to the quarterback multiple times, but he's really more outside linebacker size. That's what you got to work with him. Is he, maybe he grows into being like a Sam Hubbard type, Pete. I know you made that comp.
Hubbard was bigger.
But Hubbard was bigger, right? Yeah. I mean, I don't want to make the white guy comp.
I just said we were talking about him before the show because of Ohio State here, but Hubbard was taller than him, but pass rush wise, look at this off the edge.
Yeah, he's nonstop, a great motor, great lateral quickness as well. I'm sure he's going to test off the charts in the shuttle and things like that. Offers there: LSU, Georgia, Penn State, Florida, Florida State, Oklahoma, Oregon. Kreul said it was a great visit to Ohio State. I think this one was probably the best yet. I think Coach Patricia and Coach Washington were both great additions to the staff, and I made a very strong case for me. Coach Johnson really believes that with his help and development, and he's got a pretty good track record, that's me editorializing, I can be a freshman All-America, which is definitely a goal I would love to chase. I look forward to continuing our relationship and seeing where it goes. So there you go. I mean, Jake Kreul, somebody who I could easily see fitting in to Ohio State, probably more of like a package player, at least at first, where he's coming in on passing downs. But in that role, he can cause a lot of havoc. You got Bryce Underwood, pretty close by there at Michigan. You want to get him to the ground. A guy like Jake Kreul can help you do that.
And then Jordan Thomas, cornerback out of Bergen Catholic, powerhouse program in New Jersey. He was also on campus. I know he's been to Michigan as well. So let's pull up the tape for Jordan Thomas here.
Yeah, we talked about it on prior shows. Very polished player. You look at the schools after him: Texas A&M, Michigan, Auburn, Miami, USC, Alabama, Texas. And he's a big-time recruit. Number 17 corner in the class, according to On3. Very polished. That's the thing with him. Goes to a great school in Bergen Catholic, who's produced a ton of great players. I just think this is a guy who can come in to the Big Ten, play as a true freshman. Not overwhelming physical traits, but just good in every single kind of category. And he said about his visit to Ohio State, had an amazing time, felt really good to be back on campus, again, overall feel for the program, enjoyed spending time with Coach Ryan Day, Coach Walton, Coach Patricia. A big takeaway for me was hearing from the coaches what a top priority I am for them and how I will fit into their defensive scheme culture. It was also great to see how Coach Walton coaches and interacts with his athletes up close and personal. Look, again, like we said, you see on the clips, just a solid player. Sometimes these corners, you see him playing a million different positions and just being the best athlete on the field. And those guys many times do turn out to be outstanding corners because they're just naturally gifted and they learn the technique at the corner position. There's some other guys that they're just corners and they're taught well. They play at big programs. They have the traits and they come in ready-made at that particular position. And I think, Thomas fits in that category as a ready-made instant coffee type of cornerback.
And then the last guy we'll talk about here, running back Favour Akih, who we've spoken about before, a guy who has plenty of offers from Ohio, and maybe not a finished product as a running back, but you see the physical traits when we pull up the tape here.
Yeah, Key previously crystal ball to Miami, but now with his Ohio State offer, I think Ohio State's going to start getting momentum here in this recruitment. 6 foot, 190. I bet that's probably out of date with the measurements. He seems bigger than that, stronger than that. I believe he will be a 200-pound plus back by the time he gets to Ohio State. Has speed, legit 10-9 type speed in the 100 meters, and he plays very fast. He breaks there you see this breakaway speed. He breaks a lot of tackles. He's tough to bring down. He's just a strong player from Delaware, Ohio, Rutherford B. Hayes High School. So Ohio State, now they've kind of put the temperature up on him. I think they might pull away from USC and Miami and some of the other contenders for this guy's signature. And he'll fit in right away in the Big Ten. Ohio State's been signing, really, really good backs. Think of guys like Bo Jackson last year. But with Akih, it's the size and speed combo that really excites you, because like on that play right there, nothing fancy, not a ton of moves, just breaking a tackle with size and then going all the way with speed. I think that's what he brings to the table.
Running away from people 100%. Look, big day for Ohio State, and doesn't look like they'll be slowing down anytime soon in terms of the talent acquisition. We'll see if they can land any of these guys here in the near future. Keep you updated here on Group Chat Football. Hit that like and subscribe, Ohio State fans.